it's time for match of the round, you reckon? Obviously, maybe Dogs, Dragons, but for me, this is the match of the round.
This was match of the
Hell
round.
yeah.
Match of the round.
In the rain.
In the rain. Good stuff. We've already spoken about the 6 against stuff, guys, and the 10 minutes or whatever they didn't have the ball, so you can go back to that earlier in the show. Raiders get up, defeating the Seagulls, and I've got to say, because they're not one of the bigger clubs or whatever, the Raiders, this game's not getting enough credit for what the Raiders did. They got dominated for the first... They didn't touch the fucking ball for the first 12 minutes or whatever, 11 minutes, whatever it was. And I reckon, pretty much every team not named Penrith and Storm probably lose that game because it's just too far gone.
Yeah, it goes even deeper than that. They lost Josh Papali'i during that period too.
And they somehow... I personally was watching going, okay, game's dead. Even to the point where I was like, okay, I can put my son to bed now because the game's probably not going to... It's just going to be dead. So I can go back. I can watch the KO mini if I have to. Anyway, so basically, 30 minutes in, they start to turn the tide to a degree. But even then, there's still a long way to go. They hang in there. Granted, it got close in the end. It did get close in the end. But I'm with you, Timmy. I know that the Seagulls did, they did score those late points or whatever. But I actually thought that Raiders were playing some really smart footy to close the game out. I had some people say that they should have risked more to score more tries to fully end it. But I thought they were playing relatively smart footy. It was just, this is what Manly do. They can attack from anywhere. They can get the job done from anywhere. When they're chasing points, the Seagulls are one of the more dangerous teams in the competition. I thought this was an incredibly gutsy victory from the Raiders. Crazy gutsy win from the Raiders.
Yeah, thankfully it didn't get to that stage. But had they have lost, there's still been so many good signs from the Raiders. You'd be like, oh my God, we let it slip. But long-term view, we look fine. Played really good footy. And to your point, Kempy, when Tom Trbojevic is fit and healthy, Manly are probably the best team in the comp at chasing points in the final 5-10 minutes with their spreads and their speed out wide and all that. So, yeah, the Raiders were really good. I thought the way they closed the game out, again, we touched on it earlier on in the show and the shot at the field goal and all that, but I thought they closed out aside for their 2 late tries in extra time. The set that they rolled through for the field goal was bang on, and I mean, the big question that the Raiders had coming into the season was number 7. How's Ethan Sanders going to go? And he ticked every box, didn't he?
Yeah, he looked... The good thing, sometimes you almost don't want them to look like this crazy next Joey John 7, because there's almost this idea okay, is this going to keep... They can't do this every single week. What I liked about Sanders is he just looked solid. He just looked comfortable, knew what he was doing. Obviously, you got the try and everything like that, and the key try as well in the end. But it wasn't I'm sitting there going, wow, this is the next immortal. Now, I don't know what he'll end up being. But what I'm saying is sometimes you would rather... Because he can replicate this every week. Whereas sometimes when you watch some of these rookies, you're like, there's no way he's doing this every single week. I thought, mate, I cannot believe after no trials, he looked that smooth and that slick.
He was in total control the entire time. He was almost in so much control. I actually think Ethan Strange sort of found it a little bit hard to get himself into the game. I think when you watch the last 20 minutes, he finally left his corridor, Ethan Strange. He started to run the football a little bit and sort of get on the outside of the other Ethan, but... Mate, just as a whole, he was just so impressive. He looked so much better than what I expected him to.
Yeah. I thought there was going to be some growing pains, and I actually thought we'd see some flashes of brilliance, but it's the little details that I thought we'd have to build towards it.
And then when you have a look at the way that he played, I straight away go, I 100%... Obviously, there's part of trying to get him minutes in reserve grade, but I 100% get why Owen Paddy's not there. Because I think the 2 experienced hookers work so well with him.
Yeah, fair. That's fair. It's too much inexperience in the halves.
And just the halves, they combined so well. And you throw, Ethan Strange, you saw him popping up on the right edge of the field quite a bit as well, obviously stationed on the left. And he didn't do that a lot last year. And he'll have obviously taken so much confidence out of his successful year last year at 5'8". But I think the big one for me, boys, was around the Raiders. And keep in mind, this was done in pretty awful conditions, very wet weather at Brookie Oval, which traditionally does not drain overly well. And it was just the ball movement. The Raiders, through everything good they've done in recent years, they've never been fantastic at stripping numbers just through slick backline plays and getting them on the edges. It's a lot of this power game through the middle and second phase play, and then they're really reactive, and you have Kyo Weeks and Ethan Strange and these blokes coming at you relentlessly. The ball movement we had and the amount of times we'd strip them on the edges was fantastic. And I think a big part of this is Ethan Sanders. It's hard not to compare him with Jamal Fogarty because he's taken his exact spot. And we've spoken about it, but Ethan Sanders, he plays pretty deep in the line. He plays very direct, and what that is doing is just creating the space for the edges. The ball movement looked fantastic.
Yeah, I said a few weeks ago, and I didn't. I'm not sitting here saying I told you so because I wasn't convinced of this, but it was a potential, and I got quite a bit of pushback from some of the comments. But I was like, there is a world where he hits the ground running, and the Raiders are a better team with him in it than Fogarty. Like, and the reason I said that was because not to discredit Fogarty at all. Fogarty is a good, solid NRL 7, whereas Sanders is like a highly touted, extremely gun, all the rep teams, everything like that. And so, look, we don't know the answer to that question yet. Like, it's a long season, but like I think you saw at least glimpses of that possibility being a reality. Now, as I said, it's a long season for them to go on and win another minor premiership or whatever. Like, that'd be insane. But I do think you saw glimpses of just the pure talent that Sanders has. And I'm not suggesting Fogarty doesn't have talent at all. They're just so different. Like, Fogarty is all grit, toughness, working extremely hard. But I do think there's an idea that, there's a chance that Sanders might have a bit more natural ability at that age. Now, a lot of the time, training hard, building out your game as a 7, having experience is far more valuable than that. I'm just saying that there is a chance that could happen.
Tell you what I loved about Sanders as well, and if you jump onto Hudson Young's Instagram, he interviewed him as like a young supplements thing after the game, and this is a kid that's not his debut, obviously, but like his first proper game as halfback. He's come up with the match winner. He's scored a try. They've won. It's so down to earth. Yeah, almost uncomfortable to talk about what he did, which is I love that. Yeah. I love that from my halfbacks in particular.
Well, Cooper Cronk actually identified that and said, and it sounds silly, but he said he didn't celebrate too hard.
Yep.
It is a bit of a look. Granted, it's a new generation or whatever, but sometimes you can look into that as a 7. And if they're going crazy, maybe that is like they didn't expect it. That's not their job, so they're going. Whereas, like, I think what Cooper Cronk was trying to say was, that's his job.
Yeah,
that's his job.
Love it.
And so look, maybe it means something, maybe it means nothing. I don't know. But if Cooper Cronk's saying it, I'm just going to fucking agree because Cooper Cronk's saying it. I want to say quickly before we get off just Sanders and his field goal. I reckon Manly's lack of kick pressure almost represents them as a team. Like, they do all these flashy stuff really well. How that bloke got the ball on the 4th and had no kick pressure in Golden Point, to me, that's outrageous.
Yep.
They were walking.
I agree 98% of it, because there was nothing except for Jake Trbojevic meandering from dummy half. What I will give them, round 1, extra time, they were out on their feet. Blokes cramping up everywhere. Tommy Starling's play the ball was elite. It was so quick. I didn't expect there to be pressure because...
Surely one guy pushed
Yeah,
it.
so I didn't expect there to be pressure because of the speed of the play, the ball, the conditions, the round 1, all that. But no one was even trying to get off the line.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not expecting everyone flying in, but like, one person?
Like, I expected Sanders to have a clean shot because of the circumstances without anyone sort of near him, but no one even moved.
They didn't even move. And that's my whole point. Like, I understand relatively quick play the ball. I understand bit of a weird one, he's up flat. But like, the number 7 is up flat. Like, surely at least one person, they don't have to make it to him, but like, is 5 meters away from him. Bro, they were like 10 meters away from him. We took the kick.
Bad.
And it was only Jake Trbojevic, who was nowhere near him, like, put in a little bit of an effort to get to him. He was the marker. So you're telling me Jake Trbojevic, the marker, had enough time who, after a quick play the ball, to get on his bike, but the guys... And so that's where I just go, geez, like, it kills them every time, Manly. Like, they have all this talent, all this incredible ball playing, but just, unfortunately, sometimes there's a bit of a soft underbelly under Seabold as a coach.
Yep. And Takiaho injured already coming out of this game. Without jumping over to Manly, but it's going to be a concern as well.
All right, we'll stick on Raiders and we'll get to Manly. But yeah, with the Raiders as well, I know he had a bit of a mixed night, but I thought Sasangi had some pretty good moments. Like, I just love him so much as a player. Not to be a Debbie Downer, I'm probably going to be the minority here. Yes, Savage second half ended up being good, but geez, in the first half, mate, I was going, what's doing? Bomb tries, dropping the ball. Like, the first set they got back in that 10-minute period, he dropped the ball cold in a play the ball. I'm just going, yeah, brother, you just cannot do that. If it's your first year in first grade, maybe, but mate, you are an established first grader.
Did he make your team of the week?
Nah.
Good, yeah. I saw a few team of the weeks, but creators and stuff.
What did you watch?
I was like, fuck, did you miss the first half of this game? Like,
Mate.
He, as per usual with Savage, he has got an incredible ceiling, but his floor is low as well. He just needs to round out and find that middle ground because he is so talented. And they don't win this game of football without him in the second half. There's no doubt about that. But there is just the other parts of his game that he just needs to get under control.
Like, you haven't touched the ball for 10 minutes and then you drop it in a play the ball. Like, surely you're concentrating more where you just go, you know what? I'll get a bit of a slower play the ball. Just play the ball properly here. Mate, he's just got so much potential. And you know what? We saw the potential in the second half. To be truly, he's got potential to be in Origin. Like, that's how good he is. Just got to round that out.
I also thought, like, the one that they got a bit of a rebound and Ethan Strange managed to kick it into the corner. And the commentators said, it's wet football. It's hard to pick it up at that speed. I'm like, just jump on the ball, though.
Yeah.
I don't think he needed to go for the try. But also, full flight. And also,
that's his job. He's a winger.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he's extremely good at. Like, that, that's his specialty. So, yeah, I don't want to be too Debbie Downer because his second half was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But
they don't win it without him, 100%.
He's phenomenal. But that first half, like that, it's going to bite you against better teams. It's going to bite you.
So Sungies, though, as you mentioned, I don't know if he's a 6th second row centre. I've got no idea what Sungi is. I'm not sure he's worked it out yet, but fuck, he's a good footballer.
His hands for that, I think it was the Savage try. Big boy shouldn't be able to do that. Like, I know he's not a monster, but like he's an out-and-out back rower. The soft hands he had for that tip on for that try, you're like, oh, what a nightmare to defend.
Mate, he ran for 189 metres.
Yeah. Made an unbelievable try saver on Hopewadi as well, just getting across in cover. Like Hopper, he not run him down, but covered him. Jeez.
Yeah, he's as I said, I think if I recall correctly, it was defensively. He had sometimes there was some lapses or whatever, but mate, he's just a footy player. Like you get him on the field, he will make something happen. And I'll never forget when he re-signed quite a long-term deal. I was like, what the? How the hell did Sasangi get it was like a 3 or 4 year deal. But Ricky, doing what Ricky has done for the last half a decade or whatever, he has seen something in this guy and just unleashed him.
He had a game, I reckon, 2 years ago now. I think it might have been 14 missed tackles or something. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He just had an absolute Barry, but Ricky Short stuck with him the entire time.
So good. Such a good footy player. Noel Martin.
Yeah.
How good was he?
Both back rowers I thought were really good. Noel Martin, though, unbelievable. I thought Matty Nicholson, a bit unlucky to miss, potentially injured or something like that. But
he played reserve grade on the weekend, but it sounds like he might have got a knock to that shoulder again and might be getting surgery.
Yeah, he was coming back from injury, so they were getting some minutes into him. But
Noel Martin, though, who came in, thought he was unreal. That mullet flapping in the breeze, couple of tries.
Hot stuff.
48 tackles, none missed.
I know.
As well.
And they had 49 on the night too. They downgraded the poor fella. Bastards.
He was elite, Noel Martin, but Hudson Young as well.
What about the little
the
kick
chip
game?
over the top?
Yeah, he's had multiple kicks. He had a short grubber inside for Sanders. I was like, that's a great play.
He was very, very classy.
So Narooma Devils junior footy, shout out to Group 16, the mighty Group 16. But a few of his numbers, like 15 tries in 19 Cup games last year. He was New South Wales Cup Team of the Year. 2 tries in 6 games last year in the NRL. 5 of those games, though, were of less than 25 minutes. One of them was a 2-minute game. So then he's opened up this season with a double as well. So just an out-and-out try scorer. And funnily enough, he reminds me of the bloke on the other edge, and that's Hudson Young, where, he doesn't necessarily wait for the game to come to him. He reacts to what's happening in front of him. Like, when Kaya Weeks was scrambling across field, looking for runners, and he was getting nothing until he went into the line and Noel Martin was flying off his hip. No one moved except him.
He's a bizarre footballer in that, if you have a look at this game, he scored 2 tries. He had 9 touches of the football, which you might sort of sit there and unlike Hudson Young, who has 25 touches of the football a game. This is what he does, though. He only has 8 to 12 touches of the football, even last year in New South Wales Cup. But every single touch, he makes it worthwhile. As you said, 15 tries last year, 19 line breaks in 19 games.
And he was like,
that's crazy.
He won this spot on merit, along with obviously the fact Matty Nixon was returning from injury, but so much so that it forced Zach Hosking into a middle role.
Yeah.
He's a gun edge background. Like, nah, we've got enough edge depth. Noah Martin's fantastic. We want him playing good minutes. Hosco to the middle.
And the other option could have been Sasangi jump on that edge.
Yeah.
No, we're going to play him at centre instead of our international mate.
And you know what's insane is we sat here in a preview going, I wonder who's going to jag that extra edge spot. And not a single one said he was even close to it.
No.
And this is how much depth Ricky Stewart has in the forwards. That this guy won the spot over... We were literally debating, does the Canberra Raiders have the best back rows in the comp or do the Bulldogs have the best back rows in the comp? And we didn't even select the one guy that ended up getting the back row
Can I
spot.
tell you how dumb we are in hindsight? You look at that second trial, we literally sat here and had a conversation. Jeez, it's weird when Matty Nicholson got injured. He was on the left. They were just trialling this young guy on the right. Then they didn't move Hosking out there. They left Noah Martin out there on the right. Like, he had the right edge spot for that trial. And I think we all just sort of went, they're just trialing things.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's his jersey.
Yeah. We assumed that the other guys were so far ahead, it was locked in
Yep.
that this guy was just getting some minutes there.
Right in front of us the entire
Yeah.
time.
Mate, he was, he's outstanding. I just look at this side and, it's a long season, but I just think some of the decisions Ricky makes is just masterstroke. So, for example, you're right about the Owen Paddy one. Like, what a genius move. And the Penrith Panthers did this as well, the Api Coruscant, and then they moved Mitch Kinney and that Kenny went there when they felt Nathan Cleary was ready. But it is smart. It's like, why? And it actually is something we spoke about in the preview, was like, geez, when Owen Paddy comes on, that's a young spine. And I think Ricky Stewart, knowing way more about footy than all of us probably put together, said, I don't want all these rookies on the field at the same time. I want an experienced head to come on and guide the guys. And that's exactly what Brayley is. Like, Brayley is not going to run the ball heaps. He's super smart. He was a captain of a club, great defensive player. That's exactly what Sanders needs in at 9 at the moment. Not another young guy who is actually known for his craftiness and just the structure be all out of whack.
Yeah, and Owen Paddy went back to reserve grade. They lost by 2 points, but he scored a try and made 45 tackles, which he hasn't done in a calendar year.
Yeah, which
Really
is just
good
going to be
front.
battle hardened.
As you said, I think the quote was something like, he's not going to develop by playing 20 minutes off the bench each week in first grade. Fair
Absolutely.
enough.
Especially as a 9. We don't give 9s enough credit for how hard that is the hardest job on a rugby league field.
Yep.
In the toughest sport in the world, that is the toughest job. And so you need reps. So I just think it's brilliant. I'll tell you what's scary though is when this spine does get together over the next decade, fuck. Crazy.
Worth noting as well, Kobe Black, his first game in green and reserve grade, he had 2 try assists, 2 line break assists as well. So
Wow.
he essentially didn't have a pre-season because of his injury and
Yep.
all that sort of stuff. So
Another guy, sorry.
they're just in such a good spot.
Well, we haven't even spoken about him, but I thought Kyle Weeks was friggin' outstanding.
Yep.
There was a part of me that thought he would probably come out and be a bit quiet to start the year just because of how big last year was, but mate, he was phenomenal at the back there.
Both teams completed at 80+%. It was
Right.
80 and 81% in those conditions, and they both used the ball.
Yeah.
That's outstanding.
Yeah, I just there's so much to like about this Raiders win, especially when you consider, whether the calls were right or wrong, whatever. They had everything against them after the first 10 minutes. Literally, the first 10 minutes couldn't have gone worse.
Have we given Corey Horsburgh a rap yet?
No, we haven't even spoken about
Far
Corey.
out. I thought he was outstanding. I think he gave away about 7 penalties or something, but he just set the tone for the Canberra Raiders. It was Josh Papali'i, he went down. He had the HIA, he didn't return. I thought Joe Tarpanay, by his standards, was pretty quiet, but mate, Corey Horsburgh was absolutely unreal. I think he made a big tackle on Hopewade at the back end of the
Koula.
game.
Yep,
Koula,
right in.
was it? Knocked the ball free.
Cole was just about away and gone.
gone
That could have been game over.
Yeah, he was enormous, Corey Horsburgh. Played big minutes, got through a lot of defensive work. He was very good. And I thought Zach Hosking off the bench was fantastic too.
Mate, there is just so much to be excited at the Raiders. If this can just continue, Sanders doesn't get, 2 overall or whatever, and he just keeps building slowly, they might have the youngest spine in the comp and be challenging for premierships in the first few years. That's insane. To have the youngest spine in the comp and be challenging for competitions, craziness.
I'd say the other one that I thought, just some of his yardage carries, he made a big difference was Tamale.
Bro, he is so fucking strong for his size.
He
It's
looked
actually
great.
outrageous.
It's wild the Dragons let him go. But anyway.
His ability to just somehow ping pong off, he just kind of what's the machines, the
Pinball.
pinball machines. Yeah, he's like a pinball sometimes. He just bing, 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 and then he just somehow breaks the line. I think he had 8 or 9 tackle breaks again. The Raiders are just in such a friggin' good spot. Such a good spot. What a good win. that kind of weather at Brookie as well. Like, it couldn't have been more of a shit fight.
Yeah.
And granted, they live and breathe shit fights for Raiders, but it's, great win. Now, on to Manly, unless there's anything else, boys.
Nope.
Oh, good, mate.
On to Manly. I wanted to start with some positives. Because, look, they still played relatively well. Like, it's just, they had the game there to be won in the first 20, and they just allowed the Raiders back in, and then obviously everything happened. But, look, Koula, if you thought he was going to have another quiet year, holy shit. He was unbelievable. And another guy that, you guys are stacked for centres in Origin or whatever, and it's a long way away, but when you're talking about a guy's style of rugby league that suits Origin, which is fast as fuck, it's one thing Queensland have always done really well is just pick really fast outside backs. I mean, you could go a lot worse than a guy like Koula, mate. He has been like player of the year last year for Manly in a side that is known for their attack, and him being out and out the best attacking player on the field. I thought he was phenomenal.
Yeah, he was fantastic. 200 run meters, but he was just involved in everything. As Tim said before, that Corey Horsburgh tackle was a huge one because he was Gornsky.
Yeah.
They weren't going to catch him, and that play there could have been game over. He was enormous. I thought Paseka was really good as well.
Yeah.
I think it was an Achilles injury. For a big dude like him, that's a major injury. To return like that in the wet and look that good, and he has to look that good for Manly for them to throw punches this year, but thankfully he did.
Yeah. Geez, it's going to be one of those games where, like, you're going to one that got away for Manly because it's like round one, great start. Whether you should have got the penalties or not, it's irrelevant. You did. You had the momentum. And it's, as I said, they didn't play poorly, especially compared to some other teams, but it's just like those are the ones you look back on and go, fuck.
That's a huge one they're going to look back on. I think the Raiders made 65 tackles before Manly had to make one. Like, that is, in the modern game, that is insane.
Yeah, unheard of.
First reference of thousands for 2026 to the need for more roaming centres.
Yeah.
Tolutau Koula, again, don't just leave him on an edge. And to Seabolt's credit, they've started using him in a bit of that role where he can come off his edge and go roaming a little bit. But when he came off his edge and they had Tommy Trbojevic sliding out the back and he sort of popped up off the hip of the half and almost went through, that was an ankle from being a match winner, and that was just him coming across and injecting himself on the other side of the field. You can get more out of this bloke. He's so good.
And what's scary about that as well is, like, it's clearly not because they stopped it, but, like, it's almost a perfect play. Like, how do you stop a guy as quick as Koula with that much space?
It was similar to what I mentioned with Nico and Trindle before, but it's Tolutau Koula coming off a hip with the option for a face ball to Tom Trbojevic.
Yeah, which is like the last person that you want the ball. So, like, yeah, it definitely wasn't a bad game from Manly, and, like, it's just one of those ones where you go, oh fuck, like, could have started the year with a win, beat the minor premiers, got all this confidence. We need to bank them up while we can because we've got home games early in the year. It just sting. I think it almost, like, I can't speak for Manly fans, but you'd almost rather get tailed up because you just go okay. Whereas games like that, you're just like, Jesus.
What do we make of the halves?
Okay, not bad. Okay, I guess. But yeah, what did you think?
I thought Fogarty went okay. I still have a lot of concerns about Brooksy, if I'm honest.
Well, maybe it was on Thursday, but I just think with all the noise around DCE and the CEO last year and Seabolt under pressure, I just think Brooksy skated by without any criticism when he arrived at the club, he had the first few good games, and he hasn't ever played bad for the Manly Seagulls, but has he ever, like, how often does he make an impact?
It's incredible what a price tag does to you in the media, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because at the Tigers, Paul Bloke couldn't escape criticism for anything, and now he's kind of flown under the radar a little bit.
Yeah, and it's kind of like if he wasn't formerly $1 million player and everything, like, would he have kept his spot for this long? Like, if he was just a no-name player that had played how he had in the last year, I don't know. Maybe it's the lack of depth they've got at the club, but as a six, surely
Not anymore.
For sure, with Walsh on the bench as well. But as a six, like, what was his try assist like last year compared to everyone else? That'd be kind of a decent, because I just don't. I think it'll be decent, but does he impact enough as a six, especially in a side that's got that many weapons?
Keep talking, I'll find it for
Yeah,
you.
I don't know. I'm with you though, Roo. I think Brooksy is truly treading water right now.
24 games, 12 try assists. So not, same as...
So poor for a six. That's poor for a six.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely not in the top tier by any means, yeah.
Like, for example, the one knock on Burton is last year, like, you know, I think it was last year, one of the years, whatever, try assists just weren't. And the knock is like our attack needs more. We need something there. Now, I will say, in Brooks' defence, and maybe I'm taking it back a little bit, DCE is so dominant that maybe that's what's taking the try assists away from him, and DCE plays more of a 6 role. But then you would think with Fogarty, it's now or never for Brooks. Like, Fogarty's not a dominant.
Yeah, he'll get a lot more ball next year to Jamal Fogarty for sure.
So, yeah, I just think it's now or never for Brooks. I think if he plays like this for another 3 or 4 games, I think you're probably going to see someone come in for him.
How do we feel about them going up against Newcastle this week? Newcastle, big outsiders. I think Newcastle come back from Vegas. I think KP could absolutely cut up their middle.
It's at Brookie, is it?
Yep.
It's a tough one.
Takiaho out.
Leafire.
They've just gone to Golden Point. I reckon that would have taken a lot out of them.
Yeah, they've had a bit of a... yes, that's come back from Vegas. Had a bit of a week
Sunday
off
Arvo, Brookie, if it's dry, I'll suit him to a T.
Suit Newcastle too, though.
Yeah.
I'll go Manly.
Beautiful.
But anyone else, boys, in regards to the performance, is any other?
No, remote.
Yeah, Koula, the main one, covered him off.
Oh, Turbo looked unreal.
Oh, yes. Didn't talk it. Mate, he looked...
He moved well, didn't he?
He looked like he was good to go.
Mate, there was one 5 minutes to go, blokes down, cramping all over the place, and Koula off that counter-attack had the line break. Turbo saw it and just took off, got to him in no time. I was like, oh, he's fit.
Yeah.
Like, he's good.
And I tell you what, like, he plays such a unique style of footy, Turbo. Like, he's always on the ball, but he's good out the back. When he's fully fit, like, he can truly create something from nothing. Like, he can beat you one off the ruck, run like a front rower and literally score, or he can be swinging around the back and just make you constantly shitting yourself as to where he's going to go.
Fully fit Tom Trbojevic is the best fullback in the NRL. It just happens so rarely.
Yeah, him and Walshy, I'd say. Like, Walshy at his best. Yeah.
Tommy Turbo, like, again, I'm talking about playing at this level that Walsh is capable of, that Tommy Turbo is capable of. Tommy Turbo has very few errors in his game. He's so reliable. Positioning is unbelievable. Defensive in the back line, support play, everything is unreal. Walsh has errors to his game. I'm not saying Tommy's perfect, but there aren't a lot.
Yeah.
It's just that he's never fit.
Yeah.
Last thing I'd throw in there on Manly, I cannot believe we're in 2026 and Gerbo's playing 60 minutes.
And he ran
Maybe
for 40
it had
metres?
something to do with the Takiaho injury, but to watch Gerbo play 60 minutes and Nathan Brown play 22, I find that a little bit hard to get around, boys. I think that Gerbo's been a great player for a long, long time. And I'm not saying he's got nothing to offer. I just think those sort of minutes for him, I think they're a little bit past him. And I think, unfortunately for him, it's not his fault. But I just think the game has just moved away from him over the last few years.
He played 60 minutes, he ran for 51 metres. Now, I know he's more of a defensive player, but it's just like similar to the Lindsay Collins too a little bit. Obviously, Lindsay Collins has probably been a bit better recently. And I understand he's out there for spiritual leadership and he brings so much to it, but it's like, surely he's a front rower now that you put on for 20 and say, mate, just give me everything you got for 20 minutes and then I'll have you on the bench ready to go just in case.
But even, mate, like you say he's more of a defensive player, which he is. Like, I know tough conditions, round one, all that. He missed the tackle on Ethan Sanders, slicing straight through the middle of the field. Like that, no player should be scoring that try.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
He is a defensive lock forward.
Yeah.
As opposed to an attacking, big meter running one, and you can't be doing that.
I just think laterally he's slowed down so much over the last few years. The game's only got quicker. I understand they don't really have anyone else there, and I get that. But
He's 32. He's the kind of bloke that I would have at my club for the next 3 years, just to be around and play limited minutes and just do a job and be Mr. Reliable. But as you said, the days of big minutes and key role, I don't know.
yeah, we always say that, being the age 30 now isn't as scary as it was 10 years ago. I kind of feel like for Gerbo, it feels like it's 50.
Well, it just depends what you've done in your career. It just depends.
And he's put his body through it 100%. That's why I'm saying he's a champion of our game. He's a legend. But
that goes without saying. I think, goes without saying how much we respect and admire his career and how good he is. But me personally, I think if his name wasn't Jake Trbojevic, he would be probably getting 20 minutes off the bench and he would be kept in the 17 for all those intangible things that he offers.
Yep.
I mean, there's a reason why Michael Maguire selected him in Origin. But I'm with you, Roos. 60 minutes in today's day and age when you've got. I mean, they recruited Kobe Hetherington, who killed it in the grand final. And they've got guys like Ethan Bullymore as well, Nathan Brown. Like, so, although I do get your sentiment of, like, they don't really have anyone else, like, they got someone. You know, like...
Yeah, and this is what, I want to try and give some credit to Manly that maybe this wasn't the plan. Maybe they were forced into this because they had Takiaho go down with the HIA. But I also look at last year, for me, they had Jazz Tavanga there who would have been a perfect guy to play at 13 and get through a heap of work for you there. They let him leave the club and they were playing Gerbo over him anyway. And I can't really make sense of that.
Yeah, I think it must be leadership on the field. It must be communication.
Yep.
And to be fair, like, when that field goal was happening, there was only one bloke trying to charge it down.
Yep.
But I am with you. I don't think 60 minutes in this part of his career, especially when he's already kind of alluded to potential retirement. I think, if I recall correctly.
He said that the other day. He said one more head knock and this could be it for me,
so it's like
another red flag.
Why is he on there for 60 minutes then? If he's one head knock away from retirement, what's he doing on there for 60 minutes? What?
Yeah.
Anyway.
It sucks to talk about, but I think it is just...
It's just a reality.
I think it's very glaringly obvious.
It's a reality. It's a reality. If I had any excuse to not talk about it, I would try to go down that excuse, but unfortunately I just don't. So, yeah, look, very disappointing in regards to, like, the game was there to be won, but I thought they played pretty well.